United Queerdom, from the legends of the gay liberation front to the queers of tomorrow, examines over 5 decades of LGBT plus culture and protest from the gay liberation front to the 2020s, uncovering both the back-breaking hard work as well as the glamorous, raucous stories of those who rebelled against injustice and become founders in the story of queer liberation.
Over the last few years, I've been putting this together. We started recording just after lockdown. I initially thought that Dan would just be reading the book, but he decided to get everyone who was involved, well, as many people as he could, that are quoted in the book, just to use their quotes, which I thought, ooh, interesting. And it's kind of, in terms of an audio book, when you just hear one voice, it's kind of really cool to hear more than one voices. So it's quite an entertaining listen. And everyone who read their excerpts, like Dan, Olympia, Danny, and everyone else, just totally got into their character. Their voices were heard.
Well, first of all, there aren't as many people today on the parade as there used to be. Before this present group, who are organising it now, back in the 1970s, we had 100,000 people coming on a gay pride march. We had over 100,000, we had 120,000, we had 130,000. But now it's restricted, and they make all sorts of excuses, and they're banning individuals for just joining the parade.
Sick and tired of rainbow supermarket sandwiches, they wanted their golden egg back and insist on its political orientation. One last thing, Ted said excitedly. Remind them, Pride in London Corporation, that Stonewall was not a riot, it was an uprising that led to where we are today.
One of the things I used to do was wear a badge with a big triangle saying gays against the Nazis, queers against the Nazis, all that sort of thing. My local bar at the time, my local gay bar, was mixed gay and straight. One day a group of National Front skinheads came in to do a bit of queer bashing. And they sort of walked through, pushing people around and stuff. But all the straights in the bar turned on them and helped us, and there was a big fight, and they got 7 gods of shit beaten out of them, thank goodness. And then when the police arrived, they were all arrested, so that was good. A gay couple there pointed at me and said, "That's your fault they came in here. You wearing them badges, that is why they came in here. They wouldn't have troubled us if we weren't people like you. We need to be vigilant against the gays that think it's okay to be right-wing. Tried their best to, for 2,000 years, threatened hell and damnation, filling us with countless fears and causing consternation. Tried their best to eradicate homosexuality as a sin. They still haven't managed to beat us yet, as true love will always win."
So my name's Olympia, and I'm part of this campaign, Friends of the Joiners Arms. One of the sort of generative, interesting things about this campaign is like how our goals have morphed, how like what our aims were or are, our ambitions have changed over the years. Over the years, this sort of what was quite sort of a focused goal of opposing the closure of this one pub actually turned into a much bigger movement, which was trying to create alternative community spaces, and especially we've been exploring this idea of community ownership, like what does it mean to actually collectively own a queer venue. We are usually in non-queer spaces like most freaking hours of the day, and people say, "Oh, you can get married now, so why do you still need a gay bar?" Like as if we would even have even come close to having gay marriage if we didn't have queer spaces to start with, where we can come together and talk and organize how to fight for things.
We were invited on this show to speak about our activism, but all we've done so far is defend our right to live as human beings. The activism that we do is through tours and campaigns where we remember the queer siblings that went before us and the brave pioneers that ran brave safe spaces who lived in fear of police raids, in the face of police entrapment, and often face imprisonment and torture. We do this to remember all marginalised communities, to pave the way for something else in the future.
We do have members who do not have right to work in this country, and therefore we do need to support them to pay their fare to come to our meetings, because otherwise these people will never be able to be part of the community. So yeah, we are unable to pay for any participation in any Pride, but yet we are still able to bring our community members to the Prides, and for many of them, year after year is first time ever in their whole life when they find themselves in the space surrounded by like-minded people, and it is absolutely mind-blowing and heartwarming to see the reactions of these people and this first time experience, because in many countries homosexuality is criminalized. We have to remember, and not dream, you know, people don't even dream about Pride parades.
The reason why we're in this room right now is because of you.
Oh.
You are, you are like a queer radiator. Sometimes people are handcuffed to you. Do you know what I mean? No, you are a queer radiator because you radiate queer joy.
Oh,
like,
thank
what you do is really important, Dan, because sometimes you are criticised unfairly, in my opinion, for it being frivolous or too silly, right?
Yeah.
But actually, there's something really, really important in your style of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying, you know, people say don't preach to the converted. Do preach to the converted, because it's the converted that gets shit done, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if one thing that happens as a result of this tonight is that you leave this room feeling a little bit more energised, feeling a little bit more topped up,
Yeah.
then that's down to the kind of stuff that you do, Dan. So as well as being a queer radiator, you're like a queer portable phone charger for our community. You really, really are, and I really mean that.